I'd like to invite our 43rd Governor of Texas, who's here to introduce our next speaker, Patricia Bernstein.
Thank you. The danger is when you let somebody who's announced that they're running for office to speak, it will eat up the main speaker's time, and maybe even greater danger is the guy that's going to introduce her. Because I had a lot of things I'd like to say about our speaker today. Patricia's a great writer. She's written 3 books, one about first-person experiences with childbirth. That's something that I haven't thought about in a while and didn't have any actual experience with, so I thought I better not talk too long about that part. The second one is part of the Waco horror, and I thought at first she was talking about Baylor University and the way in which we handle things there, which I found to be detestable. But it's even a worse situation in which that was one of the last public lynchings in Texas, and it was a horrific one at that. And she wrote very discerningly about it, and also it not only is a good history reminder, it's a part of our Texas history that we should never have had in the first place. Her third book, and the one that we're talking about today, is $10 to Hate, and it's written about the Ku Klux Klan and its uprising, and not only in Texas and the South, but the way back in the 20s it had really grown into other parts of the country, in the Midwest, Indiana, Illinois, over into the breadbasket areas of our country, and how it was all easily said to be cancerous in the way in which it infected parts of our nation that you would not have expected to be included within the words and the feelings of the Ku Klux Klan. But it returns to focus, her book does, on one individual, and it's a reminder to me of how we as lawyers and also as individuals have a special responsibility in this country. And I just noticed Mr. Raley, who was here a moment ago. I'm envious of him because of the great work he did and the success he had in the Michael Martin case, which is a great example of one person, one lawyer, standing up and continuing to be, I guess the code word is persistent, in an effort to achieve justice in our system. That's the lesson for all of us as lawyers, and really to point out the special responsibility we share in this fraternity of ours, in which we are given opportunities to stand up and speak for our fellow man, but also for our system of government. Rayleigh did a great job on it. John is a wonderful leader and did a marvelous job. The book that we have today, though, is one about a governor who was a young district attorney up just north of Austin, Dan Moody. Dan Moody stood up against the Klan. He was one man. He took the very risky step of prosecuting Klan members and got a conviction, which was the first significant conviction against any member of the Klan in Texas, but throughout the South. And that, in a sense, changed the attitude. We found, because of one man's effort to fight this evil, that we were able to see a break in an organization that had dwelt on the fears of people in our state and in our nation. We see it happening again today. We see people who, just because they dress a certain way or look a certain way, they are to be feared. Let me tell you, this is not a new thing to happen. If I could take just one more minute. My mother, when she found out I had a date with a girl named Diana Hornberger, she thought I was going out with a Jewish girl. That's right. Scared my mother to death. My mother was a Baptist from East Texas. And she got up and gave me a lecture about how you got to be careful. You, a little Baptist boy, going out with a Jewish girl, you never can tell why. My first date, mother, don't worry. Well, I got home and I woke her up, and this was a few years ago, but it shows you how people have ideas. I got her up. I said, Mother, you're going to be so happy. Diana's not Jewish. She's Catholic. Oh! My Lord, you thought I had invoked the devil himself. Back then, in the days in which she was a young girl growing up in East Texas, the most scary thing on earth was the Pope. I mean, this was serious. This was not Mohammed. This was the Pope. And so we've kind of moved from that point in time, and I'll tell you, my mother did vote for Democrat. It was a Catholic named Kennedy, but it was only after the Baptist preachers here in Harris County said he's okay. But the truth of the matter is, we need to learn to live together, and I think that's what this book is really all about, is telling us the dangers of those who will prey upon our fears and try to change us into something other than what we are and ought to be. You don't have to go very far down this road to MD Anderson to find out what a real United Nations looks like. People from all over the world coming here to be healed by others who came from all over the world to do the healing. And it's not just one group or one sect. They're not one uniform. They're everybody. It's the faces of the sunrise and the sunset. So today we have a special treat with this lady who has written a marvelous book pointing out the horrors of the Ku Klux Klan and how one man, Dan Moody, helped break the back of the Klan. Patricia, come up here.